Attention Pioneer. The following instructional video is a summary of your impending duties as an exoplanetary pioneer for Fixit Incorporated. Fixit pioneers have 3 cyclical assigned pillars of work to ultimately accomplish project assembly. Use provided blueprints to build the necessary buildings. Chart the planet and gather resources to provide desired results and improve your infrastructure. Make sure to report any unusual discoveries to R&D for analysis. Expand your factories, outposts, and pipelines through automation and augmentation. That's it. Get to work and be effective. Warning, planetfall imminent. Please remain seated during full procedure. Atmospheric entry in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Planetfall procedure initialized. Planetfall complete. Please ensure the integrity of your multi-purpose exploration suit is at 100%. Remember, efficiency first. Godspeed.
Hello everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am THECorranHorn reporting in for Fixit duty, care of Rogue Squadron and the New Jedi Order, there of which I'm known as a Jedi Knight and Rogue 9. Today, I am going to be giving all of you a tour of my first ever Satisfactory oil plant. So, let's get right down to it. Let me get my good old trusty pack mod set correctly. And we're off. Sorry, drop pod. We got places to go and people to see. So, this is the Satisfactory world in the northwest corner, otherwise known as the Dune Desert. And my first ever oil plant was over here where we are going on the west coast, otherwise known as the Gold Coast. Since it was my first ever Satisfactory oil plant, I decided, you know, oftentimes when I'm having a hard time making a decision, I would just flip a coin. And as luck would have it, a coin flip is basically 50-50 chance of either result. So, therefore, I decided, you know what? Let's just split the oil that we got right down the middle. So that's what I did. So over here, this is the spot, the gold spot, where you strike gold. You go to grassy fields on massage to A to B, which is what a lot of people do. And then you've got your first chunk of oil nice and conveniently placed over here with this nice little beach area over here. So today I will be just showing everyone how I turned this in to this. On the left there is my first ever land bridge that I set up coming over from my tower, which was in the previous video on this playlist that you can go and watch if you haven't already. And also on the left side there, you've got my first ever land bridge that is coming in over there to provide ease of transportation, as well as my first bauxite railway. In the dead center there in the far side is my first ever large coal generator plant and first ever fuel generator plant. And then on the right side, as many people already know, is the 4 oil nodes with my Mark 1 oil pipes bringing it over, with 1 oil node hidden on the far right side of the oil plant, which is in the foreground. Got some pillars right there in the middle, as I wasn't sure about what was going to go on with trains, because as stated in my last video, this project is in my first save ever, so I was just learning the game, deciding how I wanted to do things, so I wanted to try to be prepared for everything. And then it occurred to me later that I might want to have some extra bridge stuff going on to provide ease of driving my awesome Explorer, which is my favorite vehicle in the game. So I decided to go ahead and bring a bridge over the water there to the shoreline. So, let's quit looking at pictures and get right down to it, shall we? This is right here, as promised. And give me a second here. Make sure everything is good to go on the good old trusty pack fly mod here. Okay, God is enabled. And then fly. Let's do medium. Okay. So first, let's go over here. Showcase the land bridge that's coming over here. And then as we go down, you see a little bit closer up view of that bridge that provides the convenience of being able to bring vehicles over to the coast there. And then right here is the 2 Mark 4 Mark 3 belts that are bringing in coal over for Coal Lake to my coal generators over here. First step of this plant was beefing up my power. So I knew I was going to need more power, so I decided to go ahead and slap down a few coal generators here, 63 in total, all adequately and accurately supplied by coal and water here. My grandpa on my mom's side lived in the valley area in Arizona for a very long time in one of those stereotypical retirement communities, and yes, I did ride in a golf cart to the grocery store many a time. And so as the valley area in Arizona is referred to, I decided to pay tribute to it because I had lots of good memories growing up there. So I decided to go with a valley design here to allow for my water extractors to be at water level and have my coal generators not too terribly elevated, so they didn't require much pumpage. Right here, I believe in exhaustive and comprehensive backups and redundancies. So, in the event of a power problem with either the water extractors or the coal miners over there, I have enough bioburners here to re-kickstart all my water extractors and all of the coal miners over there at Coal Lake. So that's what those bioburners are for. And then I've got power distribution coming down to all of them in an isolated circuit that isolates this entire coal plant and the water extractors and the coal miners from the rest of the power grid in case of a problem. And then here is the other side of the valley, where I also have my first ever fuel generators that are pulling fuel from the oil plant using residual fuel, because a good friend of mine pointed out the value of burning off that heavy oil residue by using it for residual fuel. And just an FYI, if you like what you see here and want to see more of it actually being built in action live, you can catch me over on twitch.tv/CorranHorn_R9, spelled CorranHorn_R9 if you're just typing it into the search bar. A link to my Twitch is on my channel for convenience. So let's get started with the oil here. Here's 3 of the 4 oil nodes over here. Decided to again make some convenient bridges here for vehicle transportation and foot traffic. Decided to go with kind of a rigid, more non-standard, just straight bridge here, just to see how I liked it, as well as to experiment with the up and down corners, because as I've said in my last video, and I'll say it again in this video, this is my first save ever, so lots of experimenting went on and learning. So the oil is being brought over from those nodes into my first set of plastic and rubber refineries. Because of pipe throughput for heavy oil residue, with plastic producing 10 cubic meters of heavy oil residue a minute, and then as you can see here, rubber producing 20. That combines to a nice even 300 cubic meters of heavy oil residue a minute. So that is what made the decision for me to go ahead and put plastic and rubber in tandem, side by side, to make heavy oil residue output easier to manage. And as I had Mark IV belts here to use at the time of this production, I was able to easily fit all of the rubber and plastic onto that belt. And over here is an example of my heavily segmented power distribution that I like to do. I love and cannot say enough about doing heavily segmented power distribution, as I can increase production levels by a lot of different increments of percentage and quantity and volume. So I like to do heavily segmented power grids, or power distribution rather. Then this here comes into the middle where all my outputs for the plastic and rubber is. I like a nice flat power consumption line, so everything is being synced to that sink above, and as well as up there. There's another sink up there. You can say that I may have gone overboard a little bit, just a tiny bit, on storage for plastic and rubber, but hey, I was new to the game, so I didn't know exactly what I was going to need. Therefore, I decided more is probably better. And over here we have a identical plastic and rubber setup with a industrial storage buffer for fluid storage, as I occasionally have to flush it because this whole production line is not exactly correctly set up to be able to provide for 100% accurate flow without some backup every once in a while, because again, I was new to the game. This is my very first oil plant ever. And then right when I was in the middle of this project, Mark II pipes came out. And so I was able to take advantage of the extra oil from the pier nodes over here. So I threw down an extra set of 20 refineries, 10 oil and 10 plastic, copying the same floor plan as below, with walls run up here for, again, heavily segmented power distribution, and a stackable conveyor pole for observation. And then I'm going to come over here to my initial concept for automated empty containers. And then, as you saw in the previous video on this playlist with my tower, that canister belt line is going all the way over to it for automated packaged fuel. Decided to do a little design here, mess around with some iron products for support structure, as I prefer the realism approach to the game, where every building is actually supported as if the physics was indeed in action. Lots of hypertube entrances scattered throughout to provide for ease of personal transit up to this level. Here I have another essentials hub with a manufacturer, a assembler, and a constructor, a equipment workshop, shop, awesome sinks for sinking the plastic and rubber, as well as coupon monitoring, and also got a MAM, a explorer here, a truck, some storage. So got everything you could possibly need here, all in one spot for automated crafting, because you gotta have the craft bench as well, but you know, I do like to give that sucker a good old big middle finger, because nobody wants to sit there and craft stuff when you can just throw it into a machine, forget about it, go do something else, let it finish, and be done with it. Multitasking. It's a wonderful thing. So, and then here is where the heavy oil residue is being brought upwards to the residual fuel refineries. Got a small, little teeny tiny packager here to do automated packaged fuel for this area, just because you can never have too much packaged fuel spread out throughout your entire save. Then coming over here, got the outputs for my fuel here. That is then being piped over to the fuel generators over there. And then, as always, I have comprehensive backup and redundancy with fuel storage in those industrial fluid buffers over there. And then again, as with the other side of the oil plant over here, I have another stackable conveyor pole stack here to provide a good vantage point for observation. So that's it for my first ever Satisfactory oil plant, first big coal generator plant, and first big fuel plant. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, then like I said, I stream live on Twitch. You can find me there at twitch.tv/CorranHorn_R9. CORRANHORN_R9 for if you're typing it in the Twitch search bar. And also, if you like this video, then go ahead and give me that big old fat subscription button smash. Give me a like. If you have suggestions for improvement, then feel free to go ahead and post them in the comments. If you had things that you liked that you would like to see more of, then please leave a comment with that as well. I look forward to it now moving on with the playlist. And the next video, I will be showing you my Seawise Giant oil supertanker fuel power plant. That's all for today, folks. Best wishes on everyone's day.